Hello students. In my last video, I had given a brief introduction about job evaluation and the objectives of job evaluation. Then I had tried to give a comparison and the difference between job evaluation and performance appraisal. In this video, I shall take the topic further and we shall today study the process of job evaluation. Now, the process of job evaluation has many steps involved. It begins with the job analysis, where job analysis is a process which identifies the various dimensions of the job in two forms, that is, the job description and the job specification. What is job description? It is a statement which contains everything, all details about the job. Like for example, the job title, the location of the job, the summary, job summary, the duties and responsibilities involved in the job, then the machines, tools, equipments, technology which is required to perform the job, the materials and the form in which the materials are used in this job, and then the supervision which is given or received during the job, the working condition and the hazards which are also involved in conducting the job. The second part of the job analysis is the job specification. Here we give the details of the job holder who would be performing that particular job. That means it is a statement of all the human qualifications which are required to perform that particular job, and this includes items like educational qualification of the job holder, the experience, the trainings that he has undergone, the judgmental capabilities, then his communication skill, his physical skill, his physical effort required to do that job, then the emotional characteristics, the visual characteristics like sensory, sight, smell, hearing, etc. So the job analysis will help us to provide the base for job evaluation. So where job analysis completes, from there job evaluation, the process of job evaluation will start. Now, after the job analysis, where we have got the information about the job and the job holder both, we go to the next step, which is the appointment of committee for job evaluation. As we all know that job evaluation is a specialized function, so it requires a committee, a dedicated committee which might comprise of the head of departments, various departments of the organization, and might also include experts either from within the organization or outside the organization. Along with that, there will be a HR personnel who would be also included in this process. After the appointment of the committee for job evaluation, the next step is training the members of job evaluation. So since the members of job evaluation committee are drawn from different fields, so they need to be given training, brief training for job evaluation. Michael Armstrong, in his book Handbook of Human Resource Management, has observed that the training should be given through a series of meetings, and there are certain issues which he had mentioned that these can be discussed during the training process. Like for example, what is job evaluation? Why the organization needs to conduct a job evaluation process, how will it work, then how does it affect the promotion policy, or does job evaluation means that everyone who belongs to that same grade will get the same rate of payment, etc. Okay, so after the committee members are given training about job evaluation process, then we move on to the fourth step, that is defining criteria for job evaluation. As we know that job evaluation is a assessment process, and whenever there is an assessment, we have to compare between two things. Only then we can decide or assess or evaluate which one is better. So for this also we need to evaluate on the basis of certain criteria. So for job evaluation, defining the criteria involves two steps. In the first step, we will try to identify the critical factors which are involved in the job that is being evaluated. Now these factors may be responsibility, skill, effort. Other factors may involve working condition, difficulty involved in performing the job, or the time span for completion of the job, or it might be the number of subordinates to be supervised, etc. After we have identified the critical factors of the job, then we move on to the second step, where we need to fix a benchmark or a standard for each factor, because as we know that while we compare something, we need to compare it with certain standards, predefined standards or benchmarks. Okay, so here also we have to fix certain benchmarks. Now these benchmarks can be established either by taking the various jobs within the organization, or it can be those benchmarks which are followed by the other companies within that same industry. After that, we move on to the fifth step, which is selecting methods for job evaluation. So after fixing the criteria, the next step is to determine which method to be used for evaluating the job. There can be various methods, like for example, the ranking method, the grading method, the point method, the factor comparison method, etc. Now every method has its own merits and demerits. So it is always good to have a combination of few methods in order to get the job evaluation process, make the job evaluation process more effective. The last step is the job classification. So based on the results which is obtained from the different methods for job evaluation, then what we do, we have to, the various jobs are classified into different grades. As in the beginning, of my last video on job evaluation, I had said that job evaluation is a process of grading or rating or ranking. Okay, so therefore here comes that thing. After all the 5 steps are over, when we are classifying the job, we are able to rate or grade it. How? Because we had said that we have identified the main factors of each job, then we had established standards or benchmarks. So every job is compared with the standards, and if it is below that standard, it is of a lesser importance, and if it is at par with that standard or is above that standard, then obviously that job is more important. So this job classification will finally help us to form or build the job hierarchy, either in the ascending order or descending order. That means we are placing the jobs either on the basis of the most important to the least important, or from the least important to the most important job. And this job hierarchy will help us, that will show the relative worth of different jobs within the organization. It is this job hierarchy which also helps in fixing the wage and salary. Thank you.